Hey friends, you're tuned into Honestly Friends podcast with Day and Lee, where we talk about life, love, friendships, and the culture. What up, Lee?
Hey girl, not much. What's up with you?
I'm good. Relaxing, enjoying my wonderful day. No stress, no muss, no fuss, no stress.
I love
Um,
that for you.
what about you? How's your day?
It's been busy
It's been
and
a
it's
busy
not done.
day.
So yeah.
Ooh, okay. Well, I wanted to piggyback off of our last conversation, which was kind of a little bit of a hot topic on our little YouTube. I was interested to see what people were talking
I
about.
know.
I was like, comments. Shout out to everybody that commented, even the ones that
Yes,
didn't like the
appreciate y'all.
episode. We appreciate you guys. So to piggyback off of that episode where we're talking about like sometimes men will settle for kind of who's there when they're ready to like settle down there, they'll just pick someone, and we don't want that for our ladies. We don't want you to be the woman that a man just settles for because he couldn't get who he wanted. So we're going to talk about our non-negotiables when it comes to dating. Like, I think it's something that everyone should have. Anyone that's dating, anyone that's dealing with anyone, period. It can be even in friendships, but like it's really important when it comes to dating relationships, because it helps to set the standard for how you want to be treated and usually how you treat others as well. So I can go ahead and kick it off with my first non-negotiable, which is my person has to be trustworthy. Trust is huge for me. I've said it a million times already on this podcast. I'm a Scorpio. I'm going to get down to the bottom of it. So please be trustworthy because I'm going to find out anyway. So be someone I can trust. Um, Let me see. And my next one would be being respectful. I like to think I'm a really respectful person, and I don't really be trying people. I can get a little tough towards the end, but I'm really respectful. Like even in my communication with my friends, like, me and you, Lee, we'll talk and, girl talk, and I'll be like, bitch, this, that, and the other. But one thing we don't ever do is, if we're having like a serious conversation, we don't really have arguments, but we have serious conversation. I never, ever, ever call you out your name. And I don't personally get it when I see couples, like, on social media or whatever, calling each other out their name. Like the guy be like, this B word, this and that. And I'm like taken aback because that ain't for me. Like, what do you think? What do you think of those two to start?
Well, now I'm confused about like what I have to say about this topic because those were not listed, but those are absolutely like non-negotiables for me. I don't know. I feel like those aren't even like those are non-starters because in order for us to be able to have a conversation more in depth than hello, how are you doing? If I don't find myself being respected in your space, I'm not going to be in that space. Respect is the
Right.
minimum for me. Respect is really big for me. I don't disrespect people, so I don't tolerate disrespect. So yeah, that's the quickest way to get me gone. And then trust for me, I see it a little bit how I go about with trust, I think, is a little bit different than people. Trust with me is given to everybody until it's not there anymore. But once it's there, it's gone and that's it. So when trust is broken, 99% of the time you can't get that back. And I can't be in a relationship if I can't trust you. So yeah. So I mean, I meet everybody and I trust everybody. And people are like, that's dangerous. Why would you do that? I do. And I can really tell if I can continue to trust you, mainly because, for me, it's, do you do what you say you're going to do?
Mm-hmm.
Do you respect my time?
Mm-hmm.
Things like that will let me know if I can have a baseline trust with you.
Mm-hmm.
And that's pretty much it. So those are good things, but I just feel like those are just like,
It sounds bare minimum. The reason why these are on my list, it sounds bare minimum, but it's a lot of people that don't have these things in their relationships. Like
And
we
I be
see it
looking
all
at
the
them like, why
time.
would you do that to yourself? I
we
wish
see,
I would.
yeah, we see it all the time. Like,
Mm-hmm.
so it is bare minimum, but it's like sometimes to me, I'm like, sometimes you have to remind yourself, even this is the bare minimum, because there are
Yeah.
tons of people who are in relationships with people that don't respect them, and like you said, it is a non-starter for me. Like, you give trust up front. I don't quite know what I do. I don't distrust up front, but I'm very observative. Like, I'll probably watch you. Like, if especially if you're someone that's in somewhat of my space where I can, I'll probably observe you for a while before I even let you know that there's an interest there. Like, for me, like, when I like someone, when I'm interested in someone, I'm not interested in them. Like, I'll give you my time because it's like, okay, you're cute, you may be funny, you may be whatever. So there's a peak of interest there, but I don't like you until I've gotten to know you. And I
Yeah.
don't necessarily trust you with anything until I've gotten to know you at some point. So it's like, I don't know. I won't say I'm not distrustful. I just don't freely give it. I'm like, we'll just see. We'll go out a couple times and I'll see what the interaction is like, and then from there we'll proceed on or not. Um, let me see. I had like a little list. Oh, this one's big for me. This one's super big for me. My third one is I must feel protected. Um, and this one is huge for me because I'm a princess. I'm a daddy's girl. Like I'm an uncle's girl and I'm a brother's girl. Like, I grew up in a family on both sides, mom and dad, um, where I have like uncles, and like none of the men in my life play about me. And that's something I know to my core. Like, if something ever happens, especially if another man, like a man is involved, like, I already know that's going to end real bad for for that man in that situation. And so
For
for
said
me,
man.
for said man. And
Mm-hmm.
so for me, when I'm dating someone, when I'm with someone, it's like I have to feel protected. I have to feel like when I'm walking with you in the street, we're on a date, we're whatever, can't nobody just come up to me and try me. It, like, if you cower away, that's it. Before the situation even ends, we're done. Because like, I've never not known protection. Like, I've never not known, and physical protection. And that's not to say either that like you gotta fight people in the street or anything, but to just kind of step forward and be like, yo, what are you not this one right here. What are you doing? That is paramount to me because I've only ever known that my whole entire life. Um, and not even just the physical protection too. Like, I think it's really important to be with someone that emotionally protects you and mentally protects you. Like, someone who you can actually be vulnerable with. Like, that is important for me. To be with someone that I can actually be vulnerable with. If I tell you something is going on, you do not weaponize that against me because I would not weaponize that against you. So just feeling protected all the way. Feeling safe in your presence is humongous for me.
Deep. And I would say, like, as someone who hasn't grown up with a father, I can't say that I've always felt protected. So that is a good thing to want. Yeah. So it's just, again, it's just like, yeah, that's a good non-negotiable. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
That's like
agree.
huge, humongous for me. What about
Yeah, so
you?
I mean, when I felt like when I wasn't protected, like as far as like a man is concerned, growing up, I didn't have that. But luckily, like now I can say, like, yeah, I feel like, yeah, I'm super protected. So that's awesome. It's a nice thing
Yeah,
to
it's
feel. It's
good.
like, but it takes a minute to like let someone protect you, you know? That's a battle. Because I'm like,
For you?
I'm not used to it. I'm not
Got
used to
it.
it. But it's a great thing. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, what
And
were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, like, I think it's such a non-negotiable for me because I've never not known it. So it's like, if I don't feel
Mm-hmm.
it, I'm like, Mayday, Mayday, like, help, SOS, send help, because
Mm-hmm.
I've never not known that. Like, one thing, as independent as I am, that's one thing I've never ever questioned. So it is interesting to see like just how like a different upbringing changes your perspective on things, because yeah, like that's huge for me. Because even my little brother, he's so annoying. Like, he 2 years younger than me. And even as a kid, he would be like, don't nobody touch my sister. And I'd be like, leave me alone. Like, I am the grown up here, or the older one. So
See,
yeah, it's like I've never not known that. But from your perspective, like, I think we're both tough cookies.
for real,
And
I love that for you. And one of the reasons why I guess I've kind of been very selective with who I am is because in the event that I do have kids, I do want my kids to be protected. And I want them to have a mother and a father in the home. And girl, let me tell you, I saw this today at my job, and I see it so much at my job. It kills me when I see particularly Black women with their babies by themselves. And I just firmly believe that is a thing of our generation. And I say that because, like, I feel like in the 80s when we were born, a lot of those men who are in their 30s or 40s, they were with the mothers, but for whatever reason, when the kids came, they was gone. You know what I'm saying? And so it wasn't unusual for kids of that age, and that was kids our age. Like, some of us had daddies, but a lot of us didn't. And there was some type of camaraderie in it, which is really weird. It's sad, but it's true, you know? But in our generation, the thing that I see is that these guys will have, like, kids with you, but they'll just never be with you. Kids come from situationships, not relationships. And it's just like, I don't want that. I do not want that. No life is coming through me unless you commit your life to me, period. And because I want my kids to be with a mother and a father. Our best attempt, you know, things happen. People try to get married and it still doesn't work out. But like, I don't know. I just think that sometimes women our generation, and I don't blame them, because they're like, I just want to leave this earth as a mother. So they try to do it. They go the road on their own and, you know, do what they have to do to get the child. I understand it, but I don't want that. Like, I'll leave this earth without, because I know what it's like to not have a father. So because of and I'm just like, my mom, I had a great childhood, but I think dad and mom, I think that's how, I guess you have better outcomes. I guess you have better outcomes.
You can the outcome can vary
if it's healthy, but because
the outcome
it's so
can
convoluted.
Vary. Yeah, the outcome can vary, but I think sometimes, even if you don't have a dad in the household, if you at least have a dad that cares and comes around and does the thing, that's important.
Because with the mother you get the nurturing, but from your father you get your identity. Like, especially when you're I guess, let's say from birth to like 10, you get the nurturing from your mother, but when you're getting older, you need the identity from your father, girls and boys. So yeah, that's why. One of my non-negotiables, I think I only have 3, but the first one is religion. So I'm a Christian and I want my person to be a Christian as well. You don't have to be super devout or whatever, but I only say that to the point because if we do have kids, we can't be like different on that. You know what I'm saying? That's all.
Fair.
But where you are with your walk with the Lord, there's none of my business. But it really isn't. It really isn't. It's between you and the Lord. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a bedside Baptist at the moment. I haven't been going to church for a very long time. Okay. So it's not
Never heard that one.
Yeah. It's not like I'm super devout or anything like that, but that's number 1 for me. That's one of my non-negotiables.
Got it. Well, I guess I have more, because I'm a tough cookie, I guess. I don't know. Piggybacking off of last week's conversation, where we talked about like men settling and sometimes they kind of don't like you. Liking me is important. Like, actually liking me, showing me that you like me, doing things that make me feel liked. And I say like, because the love has to be there. Like, obviously, I don't know how to explain. I have kind of said this in the past. Like, you can love people. Like, I love everyone. I love everybody in the world, right? Like, wish everybody the best. And obviously, like, my person love my person. But that like, I think, is what carries relationships through. Because love, all emotions ebb and flow. Like, your person could do something to you where you like, I don't know about this. I don't know about this situation. We are going through a tough time. But I think when you genuinely like your person and they're like a friend to you, they're like one of your best friends. So it's like you just genuinely, it's like anything that happens, you're like, then pick up the phone, babe. Like,
Mhm.
they are like now one of your core friends, not your only friend,
Yeah,
because
that's
I feel
super
like they should
nice.
not be your only friend, but they're one of your core friends, and y'all can talk about anything. You can laugh about anything. You can be real about stuff. That's super important. And I think nowadays, a lot of people, or maybe it's not even nowadays, but a lot of people aren't with people that like them, or
Like
they
them.
don't really like that person. Like, you tolerate a lot of things because you want a certain life, maybe, but
Mhm.
it's not, you don't really like them. Like, little things about them agitate you a lot. You might not say
Mhm.
it at first, you may not say it in the beginning, but those be the things that lead you right to divorce. And they were always there, and you never liked it, but you were like, I can tolerate it because I love them. But once that love ebbs and it's not flowing, that like is that paramount thing that holds you together. That's the link that holds you together. And if you don't like that
Yeah.
person, it's a donezo.
That's
It's
super
done.
sweet. And that was not on my list, but it's true. Like, that's number 4 for me then. Or that's my 4th non-negotiable. If you don't, you gotta like me. And I gotta like you.
Like, it
It
got to
has
be
to be
one
a
of those
like.
things where it's like something happened, and it could be
Eventually love,
anything.
but yeah, like,
And
like
it
I
could
like
be
you.
anything. It could be something big or small, but you like, ooh, cannot wait to talk to this person.
Mm,
I can't wait to talk to this man, let him know what's
yeah.
going on. And equally, when you start talking, he like, what's going on? Tell me. Like, I
Yeah,
need the tea.
that's
I need
sweet.
what's up. Like, yeah, that's important.
Mm-hmm. That's a good one. My next non-negotiable, so this is the second one that I have, is you cannot isolate me.
That's a
I
good
have a
one.
life before you. I'm gonna have a life during you. And that's it. You cannot isolate me. You cannot isolate me from my friends. You cannot isolate me from my family. And you cannot isolate me from my interests.
Mm-hmm. So
Um,
important.
yeah. Just that's not, if I see that, that's a big red flag to me. And I'm gonna exit stage left.
Mm-hmm.
And
That's
I
a
make it apparent
huge
to
one.
people. I make it apparent. Like, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. Like, you don't stop the show. You can join the show, but you don't stop the show. I want you to be on
Mm-hmm.
the show, but the show will go on.
You're coming onto the show. This is an
Yeah.
ensemble cast already. Like, you are not
Mm-hmm.
making the show. I wasn't waiting on you to live life. I will never wait on you to live life.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're joining our lives together. Yeah,
Because
that's
I've seen a
really
lot of
important.
relationships where that happens, and it's just like, well, you used to like to do this, and you don't do it anymore,
Yeah. Or you used to hang out
and
with these people and you
you don't
don't
do that
hang out with
anymore.
them. Yeah.
Yeah. So, worst case scenario, they start isolating you from your family, and then I've seen that too. Mm-mm.
And sometimes it's self isolation, but maybe that's a topic for another conversation. Because sometimes I would
No, I'm not
say,
talking about that.
yeah,
Yeah, that's true.
okay,
But
got
no, some are
you.
just where it's just like it is catalyzed by your
You got to be
lover.
with me. Yeah.
No, 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 no. No, I don't. I do not. I don't. So yeah, that's it.
um, Another one that I have, and we maybe share this one. I
Hmm.
like someone that has ambition, who's goal oriented, who has things going on. I don't want you to not have things going on. I be having stuff going on. Why you don't got nothing going on? Like, please have goals, have ambitions, have drive, have passion, have all of that stuff. You cannot just be sitting here chilling. It's just no for me.
And in the next breath, it's ambition with follow through because people be ambitious but don't follow through.
That's true.
So the way you can tell if someone's truly ambitious is they follow through. You can follow through and fail.
Mm-hmm.
But talking about it, talking my ear off, that you're not truly ambitious. You are
Mm-hmm.
something else, but that's not ambitious. So true ambition means with some type of follow through.
Right. Right.
That's a good one.
Um, And I think we share this one.
Which
Family
one?
oriented.
Oh yeah, that was gonna be number 3. Oh my goodness, yes,
Then
family
you can leave
orientated.
that one.
I love my family, and no one will take me away from my family. That's pretty much it. That's where it starts and
Yeah.
where it ends. And another thing for me is that my person has to love their family. I need to hear them, talk. They don't have to be as close, but I need you to care about your people and what they up to. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Because if I hear that, you understand where I'm like, something's going on with my people, I gotta go. And they be like, okay, I get it. You want me to come with you? A lot of the time I want to hear that as well. But if like it's not happening, they're like, well, why you gotta um why you always with your family? I'm like, because we like and love each other. I don't know. What you mean? Why am I with
I
my
know
family?
some of my
My
best friends are
family,
in my family, so yeah.
yeah.
And my mama my best
So,
friend. So
and it's also because like I'm not going to choose, and yeah. So that's pretty much it. I also want them to be family oriented because I need to hear them talk about like them looking checking in on their mother and father. Like what
mhm.
if I don't, I'm judging you. And because I'm for real. I am like, there are different ways to check in on them. Worse if they're completely on their own independent, calling them, every once in a while, checking up on them, minimum. But if you have to be there for them in all ways, we need to plan for that because that's coming so that we can do something for them. They know that we can help.
Mhm.
That's important to me.
And I would say, like, I understand that familial relationships can come with their own ups and downs.
Yes,
So
they can.
I won't judge it too much if you may not be as close to some people or whatever,
Yeah.
especially if you tell
As
me
maybe I
what's
am
going
to
on.
mine. No, I get
Yeah.
it. Yeah. Family, that can be another episode because one of my favorite things to say is family be family.
Yep.
Like
Yeah.
families will just family. And so I understand that. I understand it's
Mhm.
not easy, but just because it's not easy doesn't mean it doesn't exist. It still
Yeah.
exists.
It's
Mm-hmm.
important. It's just important because I feel like how you are with your family shows me how you'll be with our family.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like a non-negotiable. I understand if maybe there's one or two people in the family you're like, nah, and it's because it's just a difficult relationship.
Valid. Mm-hmm.
Understood, but you
Yeah.
can't if you just. How's your mama doing? Crickets. How's your dad doing? Crickets. How's your brother doing? Crickets.
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing? Like, because now it
Mm-hmm.
can't be everybody else. It's something with you, and you're not checking in with your people, and that tells me that you will you even check in on our kid if we have a kid. Will you be that
Mm-hmm.
dad later on in life if you're not creating these bonds and maintaining them? That's super important.
Especially in America, I can't speak for other countries, but we have such independent lives,
Mm-hmm.
and that takes us away from community life.
Yes.
And I'm blessed that in my family, both sides, we still are very communal with each other. I don't ever want to lose that
Mm-hmm.
because there are so many people that have people but feel alone,
Mm-hmm.
and it sucks. So yeah,
Yeah.
I want to keep that going.
Yeah.
Even if the family is just me and my boo. Like,
Yeah, I agree. Super, super, super important. And then I think my last one on my list is having a partner that's romantic. I'm a romantic. I like things. I
mm,
always say I'm like I love the pretty things in life. I love flowers, I love perfume, I love lotions, I love smelling good, I like getting dressed, I like putting on my makeup. As we can
mhm.
see, I will never miss the moment. So I need that. I need to be able to get out, get dressed up, put on my makeup, put on my perfume, and feel good and beautiful and do nice things. And it doesn't always have to be something that's made up. Like it can be an experience, it could be something that's thoughtful and kind, but I definitely need
Yeah.
romance.
Like I like something, so you buy it for me. Or I like to watch a certain show, so you let me watch it. Stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
It could be grandiose, it can be
It's
small, but yeah,
small.
romance is thinking about the other person and like packaging it some way and giving it to them
Mm-hmm.
so they can
Like
take a
paying
moment and be like,
attention.
"Oh my goodness, thank you." Yeah,
And I think
very sweet.
like you said, it could be big or small, but most importantly, to me, romance is like actually listening to what I like. Because sometimes people do really big things and it's not what you want, or they do
Yeah,
things
sure.
and it's not what you want. So, romance to me is
Mm-hmm.
not just doing the thing, but doing things that, like I've mentioned, doing things that you know that I really enjoy. Because that means you're paying attention, and that's what's romantic, not the act itself, which is nice. But
Mm-hmm.
if the act is accompanied by the you actually just listening to me, watching me, observing me, knowing what I like, that's what's romantic. So it could be big or small, but it's showing that you have a real interest in me, which actually just goes back to, do you like me? Because if you like me, you're gonna pay attention to
Yeah,
what I like.
I was thinking that too. When you said, I'm like, it kind of ties into what you said a little bit earlier. The other day, I heard a song that I haven't heard in a long time, and it's that song by uh name is evading me, but it's like, I hope he buys you flower, I hope he holds your hand.
Oh
What's his
man,
name?
I
He's
know
really
that song.
short. He's really
Bruno
short.
Mars.
Bruno Mars,
Okay,
yes.
I'm like, ooh,
And
I hope it's not him.
normally, that song is so sweet, but normally it's a sad song because he's reminiscent and he's regretful that he didn't. And it was like, oh wait, but like this is the first time that I've listened to this. I'm like, wait, buys you flowers, holds your hand. I was like, I kind of got that right now. I really like that. So it's just nice
Good.
when people do that. When it's just nice. It's very
Yeah.
romantic.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Yeah.
Did you have
So
any others? Those were all my
I just
non-negotiables.
had those three and the one about liking. So I had four.
Okay. Well,
But
I just felt like this was
I
a
like the rest of yours.
oh, thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you. And I liked yours,
Trustworthy.
like um the one about, being religious and
Mm-hmm.
following like kind of the same religion, because that is really important. Like, it's about to be a
I only
problem in
say
my
that
household if
because
we
I
have different views. It's gonna be a
I
problem.
only say that I say that for two reasons. Moral compass. You have to have a moral compass, but other religions have moral compasses. So that's not the whole thing. The only other thing is like, because if our religions differ and you try to be like, oh, listen to I'm like, no, I have my own. Like, no, I can't.
That's
Because at that
important.
point it's between you and God, and I'm going to pick God. So it just is easier
If
if
we
I
share the
don't
same.
have to be concerned about that happening. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? We don't have to have the same, if, yeah. I mean, I don't think I could ever be a preacher's wife. I just know I would fail. But, if you want to go to
You know what I said
church,
about that? Cannot.
if you want to go to church every week, I could do that. Or every other week, I could compromise. But yeah,
Yeah.
that's where that's at.
So I wanted to know, ladies and gentlemen, I guess, what are y'all non-negotiables when it comes to dating? Because I think, like I mentioned, everyone should have them. We should all have like a standard that we're like, this all needs to be in place to move forward in a connection and to move forward in a relationship. Because usually, if you waver on your non-negotiables, it's not typically it's not a good
You just should let it
situation.
go.
It's not a good situation once you start saying like, okay, well, that's fine and that's okay. So let us know. Hit us up at Honestly Friends Pod.
Or if you're watching on YouTube, go ahead and drop that in the comments. We really enjoy when y'all comment. Thank you
We
so much. So
do.
we'll hope to see some this week. Take care, guys.
Take care. Bye, friends.